Hello guys, how are we all doing? Welcome back to Premier League predictions. We've got some big Premier League games coming in midweek, so we've got Premier League predictions coming for it. As always, I'm joined by Sophie. How are you?
Yeah, I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Excited to get back into the Premier League content. As I say, 12 teams involved in these massive Premier League midweek catch-up games. The scores from the weekend are there. Overall, of course, Sophie still in front as we head into the final stretch. There's just a few weeks of the season to go, so let's go for another big like target. 2,000 likes. Come on, it takes 2 seconds to drop a like. It's free to do, so hit that thumbs up button. Make sure as well you are subscribed. It's free to do that as well, so like and subscribe. And let's get into the predictions, Sophie, starting with an absolute corker at the Emirates. It's Arsenal versus Chelsea. This is a great matchup. Now, Arsenal, Sophie, they are in the title race. They need to keep winning games. They just have to win every game. I actually don't think they can probably afford to drop any more points with us being this late into the season and Manchester City really being into their stride. Chelsea, they are out of the FA Cup now. Surely the league campaign means more to Arsenal, Sophie, and they have been the more consistent team. The only thing is, will they trip up in this one? No, I'm going to go for Arsenal. Do you know what? I think Chelsea will give them a good game. I don't think there'll be a lot in this. Chelsea seem to raise their game for the better opposition. I'm going to go Arsenal 2. Chelsea 1.
Okay, I'm actually going to agree with you bang on. I think Arsenal can't afford to lose this, but I think Chelsea could be very much in this. But for me, it means a lot more to Arsenal right now, and that's why I can see them just getting it over the line. So I agree with your scoreline, 2-1.
2-1 to the Gunners, both going for them to get a big 3 points. Manchester City are also in action in midweek, so Arsenal fans will be keeping their eye on that one. The next game, Sophie, is at Molineux. It's a mid-table matchup. It's Wolverhampton Wanderers versus AFC Bournemouth. This one is, of course, a Gary O'Neill derby. To be honest, so there's not actually a lot to separate them, is there? I don't know. Wolves have had a pretty good season, pulled out some good results here and there, of course. AFC Bournemouth certainly capable of winning this one as well. I'm tempted to go for a draw here just because I don't think there's a lot between them. But maybe if we're looking at the league positionings, Wolves have got potentially more to play for because they're not a million miles away from Europe, even though it looks like it would be tricky, but who knows. As for AFC Bournemouth, I don't know, it probably just striving to try and get into the top 10 by the end of the season. I'm just gonna lean towards the home team. Let's go for Gary O'Neill to get one over Bournemouth. Wolves 2, Bournemouth 1.
I was very tempted to say the same, but I'll switch it up and I will back a draw. I'm struggling to separate the two a little bit, so for me, 1-1. But if I was probably to lean towards one side, it would be Wolves being the home side. But I'm going to stick with my guns and say 1-1.
1-1 for Wolves Bournemouth. Share your thoughts on that one, guys. I don't think there's a lot in it. No. We might find that one team really turns over the other. Maybe it's just a question of who's going to want it more on the day. Share your thoughts. On to the next one, Sophie. Let's go to Selhurst Park, where Crystal Palace take on Newcastle United. Now, Newcastle, they didn't play at the weekend. They've had a week off. Last time they were in action was that 4-0 win against Tottenham Hotspur. How good were they?
Oh, they were unreal.
Massive result for them.
Yeah.
And if they can go on a good run in the final few games, who knows where they'll finish. Their next game after this one is Sheffield United at home, so a real opportunity to stick 6 points on the board here with 2 wins. Crystal Palace, of course, got that 5-2 win over West Ham at the weekend. A crazy game, and by the way, Eze's goal was unbelievable. He is such a gem. Palace, a great result for them. They're a very decent team, got good individuals, pulled out some good results recently. Let's go for a Desmond for this one. I'll make Newcastle United slight favourites, but I reckon Crystal Palace might be able to get a Desmond. I'm going to go Palace 2, Newcastle 2 in the Alan Pardew derby, we'll call it.
Yeah, I feel like if it was maybe at St James's Park, I'd probably lean heavily towards Newcastle. But after not backing them last time and having egg on my face, I feel like I've got to back them to get something here. And I'll back them to get 3 points. I'll say 2-1.
2-1 Geordies?
Yeah, which would be a massive win.
Yeah, that would be massive. And I suppose, is it to their advantage that they didn't play at the weekend? They're better rested?
I think so.
Palace maybe a little bit fatigued, but who knows? Newcastle maybe a little bit rusty. On to the next one, Soph. This is huge. Let's go to the Merseyside derby where Everton take on Liverpool. Wow, this is huge, Soph. Both teams with a lot to play for as we head into the final stretch. Both Everton and Liverpool picked up crucial wins at the weekend, with Everton beating Nottingham Forest to make them feel more safe, whilst Liverpool beat Fulham to keep alive their chances of winning the Premier League title this season. And it's always a really good matchup, Everton versus Liverpool, of course, two massive clubs in the Premier League, and I don't know, this is a really difficult one to separate. I always think at Anfield, Liverpool are the strong favourites. I think they're probably the favourites at Goodison Park as well. But with Everton needing a few more points to maybe just feel safe, I reckon they can get a draw here. Liverpool certainly blow hot and cold, but I'm going to back Everton and Sean Dyche to grind out a 0-0 draw.
Oh, that's so Sean Dyche.
0-0, which surely it's a crucial point for them, and maybe the final blow for Liverpool.
Oh, that'll be a disgusting watch, but I could see him doing it. I just feel like, Liverpool aren't in the best of form, but when it comes to derbies, sometimes form goes out the window. So 2-0 Liverpool.
Really?
Yeah.
We're going quite different there.
Very different, yeah.
Share your thoughts, guys. Everton v Liverpool is a massive matchup, and it's Jurgen Klopp's last Merseyside derby.
It is, so he's got to win it.
Well, we'll see. Share your thoughts, guys. On to the next one, which is a battle of the Uniteds. It's Manchester United versus Sheffield United. Now, Sheffield United are on the verge of relegation. I do remember a couple of years ago when they were bottom of the league, they came away to Manchester United and they ground out a 2-1 win. It was an astonishing result. And possibly something they could do at Man United, who are having a bit of a strange season. Do you know what? I don't think there'll actually be many goals. I reckon Chris Wilder will surely come and think Sheffield United's best hope is for it to be low scoring. But that said, Man United have the quality to still get the goals and win this. So I'll go Man United 2-0 on this one.
Yeah, for me, Man United are going to win 3-0, I'll say. I think they've just got the quality. They've got way more quality than Sheffield United do, and I think it's going to be very, very evident on the day. So they'll turn them over, and they're going to affect Sheffield United's already poor goal difference by another 3.
Oh yeah, we were saying for a long time this season, could they get to minus 100? I don't think that's realistic now. There's only a few games left, but
they could try.
It's going to go down as one of the worst goal difference ever.
It's very bad.
Who knows? Share your thoughts on that one. The final game is a big one, so as we go to the Amex, it's Brighton versus Manchester City. Brighton, of course, did not play over the weekend. Meanwhile, Manchester City won their FA Cup semi-final against Chelsea to set up an all-Manchester FA Cup final. Now, Manchester City back in Premier League action. Obviously, they went to the summit last time they played. They know that if they win all of their Premier League games, they've won the Premier League.
It's in their hands now.
And if you compare Manchester City's fixtures to Arsenal and Liverpool, I think theirs are slightly nicer. That said, Brighton away is a funny one. It depends what day you catch Brighton on. Man City could come and win 3-0 like Arsenal did here a few weeks ago, but if Brighton put in one of their better performances, which I don't see why they can't, given the fact they'll be rested and they're out of Europe now, then they could get something. And personally, I'd like to see that because it would open the title race up a bit.
Yeah.
But if I'm using my head, I've got to go for Man City. Just struggle to see a way of them not winning the Prem now. It's in Pep Guardiola's DNA to get this over the line.
Yeah.
So I'll go Brighton 0, Man City 2.
Okay, so I'm going for the same deficit, but I'm going to say Man City 3-1 win.
Okay.
As you say, it's in Pep's hands now, and I think he likes it that way. The pressure's been on the other teams, can't hack it as much. Pep and that Man City squad, they can soak it up, and I think it's going to be a fairly convincing 3-1 win.
3-1 to Man City. Yes, after this, Manchester City have Forest away, which is actually a game they dropped points in last season, and their trickiest game left is Spurs away, which is coming up soon. There you go, guys. That wraps it up for another week. As I say, just the 6 predictions this week because there's only 6 games in midweek. We'll be back with the Premier League predictions for the weekend, Thursday or Friday, so look out for that. As I say, it's free to drop a like, so show your support on this video. We're going for 2,000 likes. It's ambitious, but with your support, we can do it. Hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe as well and get your predictions down in the comments. Some big games this week. Let's see how they play out. Thank you, as always, for joining me so Sophie.
Thank you.
We will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.